Okay, so following on from the previous video where we used our Microbit to turn all the lights on our Minimove red, let's now use our Microbit to change the lights so that they're different colors. And so how we're going to be playing around here is this middle part of our program that we'd already created. So just to remind you, in the program we said when we start up the Microbit and the Minimove, we wanted to create, when the program starts, it must create a variable called lights. It's like creating a box that you're labeling lights, and into it you're putting all your lights, and these lights are connected to pin 0 over here on your Microbit, and they have RGB properties. They can be red, green, blue, or variations thereof. And when you click button A over here on your Microbit, what do you want to happen? We said we wanted all of our lights to, in this box called lights, to turn red. So how do we make this a little bit more complicated? I want you to click with me on this NeoPixel option and go to the second option here and click on set range to strip range from 0 to 4 LEDs. Click on it and drag it and put it underneath here. And before I explain more, let's click here and delete lights. So I literally clicked on lights and clicked delete. And now I want you to take this blue section inside of this red box, click on the blue section, not on the whole red section, just on the blue section, click on it and drag it up to where you just deleted lights. And so you can see you've now got blue, red, blue, and then some more blue. So, and that means we can actually click on this red section below and delete it. So it's a bit of a roundabout way, but it was how we just wanted to get this little bit of code here. And so let's change strips, change it to lights, and then I can explain what it means. And also click for me on 4 and change it to 2. And so what you're saying is that when you push button A, you want the lights inside your box, labeled lights, ranging from 0, so your lights on your Microbit, there are 5 of them, and they're labeled 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. And so you want light 0 and light number 1 to turn red. And now how I know it's 0 and 1 is because I said ranging from 0, light 0, with 2 LEDs. So it's saying 2 LEDs must turn red, and that's LED 0 and LED 1. Okay, so now let's make the first 2 red. Now let's make the third light a different color. And how are we going to do that? The easiest way is I can't find it in the list here. I'm obviously just missing it. So I want you to click in the search button at the top here, and I want you to type in pixel. Okay, just P-I-X-E-L, and it's the second thing on the second code box on the list, and it says set pixel color 0 to red. So click on it and drag it underneath and change the variable here to lights. So when you push button A, you want your lights set pixel color at 2, so you want this the number 2 light, and remember it starts at 0, so it's 0, 1, 2, so it'll be the third light along, to turn, and let's make it white, because that's what's in the instruction manual. Okay, so lights starting from 0, 2 LEDs will turn red, then the third LED, and I know it's a bit complicated, but it's because it starts at 0, it doesn't start at 1, will turn white. And then what about the rest? I want you to just click on this whole blue box. Don't click over here in the smaller blue box or on the red. Click on the whole blue box. Right click and go duplicate. And now click and drag this up here to add onto the bottom. And you can drag your on button B a bit further down. And so when you push button A, the lights ranging from, and change this for me to 3. So LED 3. So I know this isn't the Minimove here, but let's just think about it. If that's 0, 1, 2, 3, it's taking LED 3 and with 2 LEDs from that, so 1, 2, these 2, 3 and 4. Sorry, there's a lot of numbers going around. So LEDs 3 and 4, we want them to change to, let's make it blue. Okay, so LEDs 0 and 1 will go red, 2 will go white, 3 and 4 will go blue. So we're starting at 0. Okay, and then we leave button B the same, and so when you push button B, it'll clear and show nothing on them. So yeah, that's your program. So you're literally going to click on it, save it as something else. I'm going to call it lights 2 and click save. It saves it to your computer. I'll put all of mine in a folder on my desktop so I can find them easily. Okay, and so yeah, you could load that program on your Microbit. I'm not going to do it yet. For now, I just wanted to do a second lights program that's slightly more complicated. Well, not more complicated, but just more complicated in terms of colors. So we leave everything as is, but let's just make each light a different color. But not just make it a different color, actually make each one come up at a different time. Come up, switch off, next one switches on, switch off, switch on, switch off. And so what I want you to do here is click on this first blue box, the whole blue box, and delete it. You can push delete on your keyboard. And then on the second long blue box, click on it. You can also right click and go delete blocks. And so we just want this code here. So make sure it says lights here, so that's your variable. Set pixel add changes to 0. So your first light, your 0 light, is going to change to, let's make it red. And now make sure the whole blue box is clicked on and right click duplicate and drag it up here. Now change 0 to 1 and change it to really whatever color you want. I'm just doing what's in the manual. Right click duplicate, drag it up, change that to 2. Let's change that to green. Duplicate. I'm guessing you get the picture. Green, let's do blue. And last time we're going to click duplicate, drag it up here, Control, and let's make it purple. Hold on a sec. Sorry, someone came in the room, so I had to pause. Okay, so you've set all your different lights from 0 to 4 to different colors. But now we want to do the additional thing of not having all the lights on at the same time, but rotating through the different colors. So we put up here our button B, which we said when you push button B, it's going to clear the lights and show nothing. So now we're going to use our forever loop, which should be up here. I just put mine off to the side. You can see I'm a very obsessive compulsive person. I like to put everything nice and neatly undo each other. I don't think it's that serious that it has to be perfectly under each other, but for neatness, let's put it down here. So I'm going to say forever means all the time. I want it to rotate through the different lights. And so what I'm going to add first is a pause function. And if we click here, see, I can never find things. So actually it's so much easier. I'm just going to type up here pause. So I want this pause function. I'm going to drag it here. So it's going to pause for 100 milliseconds. I always get it wrong, so that's 0.1 seconds, I think. And then I want it to rotate through the different pixels or the different lights. So up here I'm going to type rotate. Let's click on this one here and drag it down. So it's going to pause for 0.1 of a second, and then we change our variable to lights. Our lights are going to rotate pixels by 1. It's going to rotate by 1 pixel. So one light is going to show up, 0 is going to show up, and then it's going to rotate to the next one, and then the next one, and the next one. And we have to add in the show function. So you can either click on this one up here and right click duplicate and drag it down to the bottom. So it has to say lights show. Or you can type it up here if you don't want to duplicate and just click show. And I'm not going to be able to find it. Yeah. Obviously. Yeah. It could just be me, but it feels like things have changed a bit. So maybe just duplicate it. I don't know if they've upgraded it. So anyway, so it's going to pause and then it's going to rotate through the different lights. And so let's save this. That should be your whole entire program. Let's save it at lights 3. Save. Okay, I'm going to save it to my desktop. Okay, and I will now put it onto my Microbit, and I'll take a video of my Microbit going, and I'll include it in this video. But I hope. Okay, I've plugged in my Microbit to my computer here. You can see on the right is my Microbit folder, and on my left is my folder on my desktop where I save all my programs. And this is the most recent lights program that I created, so I'm going to drag and drop. I'm going to copy across and briefly show up in the folder and then disappear. Let me know if it disappears for you or if it continues to show up. Okay, great. And now let's go to our Microbit. So I'm disconnecting it from my computer, but remember I have an external power supply for this. So at the moment, it's got the power supply of the Minimove. There's 3 batteries in the back. If you're not plugged into your Minimove, it needs to be plugged into some power source. Yeah, so don't forget else, it's not going to work. I push my A button, and I've got all my bright lights, very flashy. And you can see they're not shining all at the same time. They're rotating as to which one is shining. So that was the 3rd program. So I hope yours works.